Isar Aerospace raises $70 million. European commercial launch company Isar Aerospace has announced a whopping €65 million, that's about $70 million investment. This brings the total value of the latest investment round to an impressive €220 million. In total, Isar Aerospace has raised over €400 million to date. That's serious money. Among the big players in this funding round is the NATO Innovation Fund, a brand new venture fund backed by 24 of NATO's 32 member states. They are planning to invest over €1 billion in deep tech companies working on space, hypersonic systems, artificial intelligence, and biotech, just to name a few. Andrei Traversoni, managing partner of the NATO Innovation Fund, said it best: access to space is critical to Europe and the UK. The company is still waiting for the green light to begin stage testing their first and second stages. Depending on the outcome of those tests, Isar Aerospace is aiming to launch their first test flight as soon as possible. They will launch from Nordmelle, a Norwegian island of Andøya. Nix Bikini ready to launch on the maiden flight of Ariane 6. The exploration company is ready to make a splash with their Nix Bikini. This reusable capsule demonstrator, with a diameter of just 60 centimeters, that's about 2 feet, is all set to perform a ballistic re-entry demonstration. This upcoming test is crucial because it enables the exploration company to gather real data on atmospheric re-entry to help verify their mathematical models. Nix will launch on the first ever mission of Ariane 6, the next European launcher. At the end of the mission, the upper stage will be flying at roughly 28,800 km an hour around Earth. A few minutes before the upper stage plunges into the Earth's atmosphere and disintegrates, Nix Bikini will detach and fall down to Earth. The re-entry vehicle has been designed to survive the intense heat of re-entry, up to 2,100 degrees Celsius, that's about 3,800 degrees Fahrenheit. The amazing thing about Nix Bikini is that it was developed in only 9 months and for a cost of under €2 million, that's about $2.1 million. Helene Huby, the exploration company CEO, explains, "From an industrial point of view, having built Nix Bikini in just 9 months, from sketch to qualification, has enabled us as a startup to prove ourselves to supply chain partners, prove our development and production processes, and to demonstrate that we can build spacecraft fast and for a fraction of the cost while accepting risks." The exploration company is using cheap, off-the-shelf components to speed up development and reduce costs. For example, when Nix Bikini phones home during its descent into the Pacific Ocean, it will be using a standard satellite phone. Simulations show it should work, but the phone terminal was, obviously, not designed to be used from inside a returning spacecraft. Nix Bikini does not use thrusters, so in order to orientate itself correctly for re-entry, 3 flaps will force Bikini to re-enter with its heat shield forward. This technical solution bears more risk but is cheaper than costly and complicated thrusters. Helene Huby says, "If one of these risks materialize, we will gather no data and our mission will fail. But we will have gathered unique learnings about our technical capabilities, our industrial processes, our supply chain partners, and the legal and technical path to secure a re-entry license." And the name? The name was chosen jokingly because the capsule might be almost naked when it splashes down, and the bikini swimwear, when it was invented in the 1960s, was quite innovative. Next up, PLD Space invests €10 million in Mura 5 launch complex in French Guiana. The PLD Space launch complex will contain the launch zone, preparation area, hangar, a clean room, control center, and both commercial and work offices. Work is expected to begin sometime after this summer. PLD Space is planning for a launch complex acceptance in the middle of 2025 and will begin the Mura 5 launch campaign by the end of 2025. Space Machines Company has signed an agreement with New Space India Limited, or ENSIL for short, to launch the second Optimus spacecraft, an orbital servicing vehicle. The launch is scheduled for 2026 on ENSIL's small satellite launch vehicle. The spacecraft will be the largest Australian designed and built spacecraft to date, weighing in at 450 kilos, that's 992 pounds. Optimus is a highly mobile space servicing platform developed by Space Machines Company. It's designed to be a multi-role orbital servicing vehicle. Think of it as a space version of roadside assistance, but instead of fixing flat tires, it repairs broken modules or other satellites, like solar panels or thrusters. In a quote from Space Machines Company, they say, Our vision is to provide long-term roadside assistance in space, where spacecraft are repaired, refueled, refurbished, recycled, and removed at the end of life. And finally, RFA, that's Rocket Factory Augsburg, installs 9 Helix engines in RFA-1. In a tweet they posted, they say, "Look at these beauties, engineered to ignite dreams. Our team in Saxaford Space has successfully installed all 9 Helix engines to the first stage of RFA-1. There has never been so many engines on a European rocket before, a historic moment. But we are not leaning back. Preparations for the next hot fire test are advancing rapidly." RFA intends to launch from the Saxaford Spaceport in Scotland later in 2024. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to see more videos like this on other small startup companies in space. We keep you covered with all the news on the small commercial space startups. See you soon.